It's Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. Markets just closed a little while ago. They did not have a good day. Dow Jones down 368 points. NASDAQ was down about 140 points. So we're going to be ending this year. It looks like we're going to end this year on a very rough note. Tomorrow's another day, but these markets are not coming back. They're not going to come back without help from the Fed. Without the Fed, these markets are doomed, and we're going to see more serious trouble coming in 2023. I don't believe the Fed is going to pivot or come to the aid of these markets anytime soon. And just a few, I don't like making predictions, but I think that, I don't even think these are predictions. I think this is just common sense, what we're going to see in 2023. Please comment down below if you disagree or you do agree, or what you see coming in 2023. I would love to know your thoughts on what you believe is going to happen in 2023. But here's a few that I wrote down this morning. And again, I don't even think they're predictions. I think this is just common sense of what's about to happen or continue to happen. We're going to continue to see more layoffs. In fact, I believe we're going to see more momentum with layoffs. And right now, it almost seems like daily we're reading news of 1,000 here, 5,000 there, 2,000 there. This is going to continue to snowball, in my opinion, in 2023. Loss of liquidity. We're going to continue to see a liquidity crisis here in America. Inflation is going to continue. It's going to affect the average person at the store, at the grocery store, rent, you name it. Housing crisis will worsen. No doubt. We'll talk a little bit more about that in this video. Household debt is going to continue to hit record-breaking numbers. Credit card debt going to be record-breaking numbers. Tax refunds are going to shrink. That's going to be another problem for people that are dependent on their tax refunds. We're going to see tax refunds continue to be much smaller. Gas prices, I believe, in 2023 are going to be over $4 a barrel. I believe we're going to see oil, $4 a gallon. I believe we're going to see the barrel of oil break $100. I believe the national average per gallon will break $4. So let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. What do you see happening in 2023? And the question is, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? And the answer to that, and again, this is just my opinion, you hustle. Everyone must hustle now. You cannot be lazy. If you're lazy, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna lose. You got to get off the beanbag. You got to get off the couch. You gotta put down the Doritos. You got to put down the video games. You got to get out of the matrix immediately. Time is running out for so many people. Most people that you know and I know are not prepared for what is happening and for what is about to happen. They still believe it's going to turn around. They believe that this is temporary. They believe that this is going to get fixed by the people who created this mess. This is not going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be on a very, very bumpy journey here, full of uncertainty and volatility and chaos. Right now, no more games, no more Netflix, no more addictions. If you have addictions, alcohol, drugs, whatever it might be, you got to get rid of these addictions right now. You got to get strong. You got to get very, very strong and drop these addictions immediately for what is coming. And don't quit. Don't give up. It's going to get very, very rough out there, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see things you never thought possible beginning in 2023. Do not quit. You must stay strong. This is going to get wild. This is going to be a wild ride. So let's get into some of the news today. Dow headed back below 30,000. Slim chance of soft landing for economy in 2023. This coming from a CNBC CFO survey. But it goes on to say that the stock market will eventually turn around and it will rally to a new high. They have been so wrong about the rallies and things turning around and transitory and the consumer being strong, etc. They can't even admit to you and I right now that we're in a recession. And yet they're telling us, yes, the stock market's going to go down, the Dow's going to go down below 30, but don't worry, it's going to turn around. We're going to hit all-time highs. Yes, the Dow Jones is going to go down below 30,000 points. In my opinion, I do believe that. But I think it's going to go way below 30,000. I think we have a long way to go. I believe these markets have at least another 50% down to go. These people, again, continue to lie, telling us that it's all going to turn around eventually, that you need to be buying right now, buy these dips. I think if you do, you're going to land up broke. And when you land up broke, these same people who told you these lies, who told you to buy the dips, to go buy a new car, to jump in and buy a house, to run up your credit cards, these same people, these institutions, or this institutional money, these same people are going to be the people that come in and buy your houses when you've lost your homes because you listen to this terrible advice. I believe, and I don't give financial advice, but I believe the best thing to do right now is stop running up the credit cards, stop running up debt, get a cash reserve, sit on the sidelines, get your financial house in order, and see how this plays out, because we got a long way to go. U.S. pending home sales, this also on CNBC, sagged more than expected in November. By the way, they revised the October numbers down also. Not a lot of talk about that. Contracts to buy, U.S. previously owned homes fell far more than expected in November, diving for a 6th straight month. Pending home sales fell 4% to 73.9 last month on the home sales index, the lowest reading the National Association of Realtors has seen since the National Association of Realtors was launched in 2001. We're down 12 of the last 13 months, ladies and gentlemen. Does this tell you where this is all going? And of course, in January, we'll get the retail numbers, and they're going to tell you and I how great Christmas was. You know, Christmas retail sales were a flop. Online sales were a flop, dismal. You could see it, you knew it. Of course, they're going to try to turn it around, manipulate the numbers. The data that we're getting, ladies and gentlemen, and just the data I'm reading to you right now, pending home sales fell 4%. You know, how do we know it wasn't 5% or 7% or 9%? I'm having a hard time now believing a lot of the data that we're being given. Contracts declined in all 4 regions, led by a 7.9% drop in the Northeast. The West is down 45.7% year over year. All 4 regions suffered double-digit declines year over year. You know, this is going to be interesting. You have buyers and you have sellers. Who's going to be able to hold out? Who do you think is going to have to give in? I believe it's going to be the sellers. I'm a buyer. I'm going to sit and wait. I don't care how long I have to wait. But there's going to be sellers out there that are going to come to a point where they're going to have to raise capital, that maybe they're worth $1.5 million right now. But they have multiple properties, they have multiple expenses, maybe they have business expenses. $1.5 million can go to $900,000 really quick. 900 goes to 500, 500 goes to 300. At some point, they sound the alarms that, hey, I'm down to $300,000. I need to raise capital immediately. I need to sell my house, or I need to sell this Airbnb home, or I need to sell this rental property, and I need to raise capital quickly. Dump it at whatever cost. I need capital immediately, and we're going to begin to see that. Someone in the comments had a that I was reading in this one of these articles. Somebody had commented on the article down below in the comments of this article, and they had a they said here they had a good buddy in the repo business, car repos. They said that their buddy said that it has never been so busy, they can't keep up with it. They've never seen such an increase in non-payment or late payments in the auto sector. This coming from the repo man. So here's another problem. We see what is happening in housing. Prices are coming down, people are losing equity, but think about what's happening in the auto market where people paid $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 beyond sticker. So banks are bundling up these auto loans like they did mortgages back before the last financial crash. Is that what they're doing right now? I have no idea. If you do, please comment down below. But are they bundling these mortgages or these auto loans up like they did mortgages back in the day? Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And who is the main basket holder of the billions of dollars in auto loans? Are these things being sold in derivatives? Who's holding the main basket of billions of dollars of auto loans right now? And again, are these things being bundled up like they bundled up mortgages back before the '08 housing crisis? Billions of dollars. How do the banks survive this when the repo man cannot even keep up with the amount of business? This is a depreciating asset. These cars are worth half of what, maybe even less, because they were so overvalued to begin with. Now they're used, now they have miles on them, maybe damaged. These banks will be lucky to recover half their money, maybe a quarter. This is an article that I was reading on Fox Business, and this to me is shocking. It should anger you, really. BlackRock's Larry Fink talks Ukraine reconstruction with Zelensky. So we have sent over roughly $120 billion, $140 billion over to Ukraine. So now BlackRock can go over there and rebuild it and make a fortune. If that happens, now I'm not saying that's going to happen. There's a war going on. We don't know how it's going to play out. But this is what they're planning right now, that we're going to send more money over there. Don't forget the omnibus package includes $45 billion that we're going to be sending over there. And so maybe it's going to be $200 billion total. Maybe it'll be $300. Maybe this goes on for years and it's $400 or $500 billion. I don't know. But this is disturbing when BlackRock's Larry Fink is in talks with the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, on rebuilding it and making a fortune over there. While we financed this whole thing, while we sent all this taxpayer money over there, this should infuriate every one of you with just the talk of this. U.S. emergency oil stockpiles dropped to lowest level since 1983 as gas prices tick up. We are now down to 371 barrels in our reserves. I believe that is from 700 million barrels. And this is how they've been pushing the inflation numbers down, by pushing energy costs, by pushing gasoline costs down. These reserves are going to have to be replenished at some point. They're not going to be replenished at $20 or $40 a barrel oil. And this is why I believe we're going to see more and more inflation coming. Look, we just passed the $1.7 trillion, with a T, trillion dollar package. Now we're going to have to replenish hundreds of millions of barrels of oil. What do you think that this is going to do to inflation? Do you think that this is going to improve? Do you think this is going to give you some breathing room? Absolutely not. Here's another one. And this one hits me right in the heart. MSN, people are giving up pets and blaming inflation. Pet owners have less pets today than they did 3 months ago. And they're blaming that on the cost of feeding and housing pets. More than 23 million households adopted a pet during the health crisis. Now people are struggling to care for these pets. Now they're struggling to care for their kids, struggling to care for themselves because they don't have all this free extra money. And now inflation is here because of the $7 trillion that the Fed dumped into the economy. Now we've got to pay for that money. And unfortunately, it's going to be pets that pay for this. And this really, I'm very sensitive towards animals and pets. Most of you know that. 35% of pet owners in September said that they were concerned about the expense of having a pet. Half said that they had to give them up. That is really sad. You know, the irresponsibility that we saw a couple years ago, where people just taking all this free money, taking vacations, dining out, buying cars, going and getting these pets, and now they're losing their cars to the repo man. Now they're taking their pets to shelters. Many of them are going to lose their homes. Many will be evicted from their apartments. This is an absolute disaster. And a lot of it has to be blamed on people themselves. What were they thinking? Did they think that this money was going to last forever, that they were going to get a check or a stimulus check forever? And now these little pets, dogs and cats, are going to pay the price for this irresponsibility, for this irrational thinking, for this live now, worry about it later type mentality. If you can give a pet a good home, if you have the means, the ability, God bless you. God bless people out there that are trying to make a difference, that, you know, can help. God bless you. The Hedge, Emergency Preps from A to Z. This was an article authored by Ashley Ellen via the Organic Prepper blog. Just to name a few, I won't go through all of them, but just food for thought, ladies and gentlemen, something to think about. How about a generator? How about extra clothing? How about having extra knives, extra flashlights? How about emergency food? And how about extra food for your cats and your dogs and your birds and your reptiles, whatever you may have? Make sure you have extra food for the animals. A lot of people go, oh, I have everything. I have the generator. I have the flashlights. We have plenty of emergency food. Oh yeah, I forgot about the dog food, or I forgot about the pet food. How about having a tent? Alcohol-based hand sanitizer so you can reduce bacteria and germs. Battery-powered radio or a hand crank radio to keep you updated with news, evacuation orders, and other alerts. Cash. What if ATMs go down? What if your bank shuts down? Credit card machines aren't working. We're hearing daily now about grids being attacked, snowstorms shutting grids down, power outages. So make sure you have cash, small bills, just in case you can't get to the ATM. Drinking water, in case the water supply is disrupted or contaminated. No brainer. And water is so important. Make sure you have water put away. Fire extinguisher. You have a fire breakout in your house, you better have a fire extinguisher. Have 4 or 5 fire extinguishers. So this is food for thought. Think about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. These all are great points, and there's more in the article. So if you get a minute, check it out. So I'm gonna wrap the video up right there. It's a beautiful, sunny, 80-degree day here. I feel completely blessed. I know people are being decimated with bad weather, freezing cold weather, snowstorms, Arctic blasts. It's horrible. 80 degrees here today, not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely stunning. But don't let the weather fool you. The state of California is a disaster. Homeless people running around everywhere. So many people, 12.9% of this population, California, on government subsidy, government subsidies just in order to eat food. So we have our problems here, and I can't wait to leave this state. You know, I'm heading south, and I plan on being in the south, in my home on a ranch in 2023, God willing. So please keep me in your prayers for that. As the jets fly over, it's amazing that planes are even flying today with what we've been reading, but we've got one coming over right now. But as I leave you today, do not get complacent. We're winding down the year. Forget about 2022. Forget about it. We must focus on what is around the corner, and that is 2023. And if you have a weak link in your preparations, if there's something you need to work on, something that you need to add to it, now is the time to be doing it. I think we're getting very, very close to some big events taking place. And, you know, as I sit out here in this beautiful weather, it's hard to even fathom what is really taking place behind the scenes, what's taking place around the globe, Taiwan, what's happening in Ukraine, the global debt, people right here in America not getting enough food, people losing their jobs, people holding tremendous amounts of debt, people losing their cars. We are on the verge of a massive housing collapse. We are on the verge of the greatest depression the globe has ever seen. So I don't lose sight with what's happening. I feel very blessed. All of you should too. If you're watching this video, you have a phone, you have a computer, more than likely you have a roof over your head, more than likely you ate today, you have running water, maybe you have 2 arms, 2 legs, you're blessed. You're breathing today, so you might be missing a leg, you might be missing an arm, but you're blessed. You're breathing today, you're alive, you're watching this video. Stay on path, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is about to get crazy, chaotic, volatile, you name it. So stay on path. Continue to prepare, and don't get sidetracked. The television, we're going to see days where the market rallies and they're going to tell us that everything's back, everything's going to be okay. Do you really believe it? Comment down below. What do you see happening? What do you see coming for 2023? Is it going to get better? Is it going to stay the same? Or is it going to get worse? And how bad is it going to get? How bad do you see it getting? I see it getting very bad. And that is why I'm getting out of the state of California. That is why I'm going to continue to stay on path, continue stockpiling as much gold and silver that I can, cash, and land. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to buy some land. I'm going to have some cattle. I'm going to have some goats. I'm going to have some chickens. And I'm going to try to be as independent as I can as a human being. Now, I know most people cannot do that, but there's always something we can be doing to put the odds in our favor, or to strengthen what we have, to strengthen our preparations. So, you know, maybe if you live in a community like this and you can't live on a farm, you don't want to live on a farm, I understand that. Hey, you can still have food and water put away. You can still have all these items that I mentioned, radio, extra propane, extra batteries, extra knives, extra clothing, food, water, have some gold put away, have some cash put away. There's always something you can be doing. Not everybody's going to go move on a ranch or a farm. I get that. So deal with what you got in your environment, in your surroundings, where you live, whether it's a little tiny 600 square foot apartment or a 6,000 square foot beach house. There's something you can be doing. And most of all, make sure that you're absorbing knowledge. Make sure you're paying attention to what is going on and not getting sidetracked. That's what they want. They just want you to be sidetracked and delusional and naive to reality. Get out of the matrix. Start looking at reality for what it is. Start absorbing knowledge. Have the mindset to get through this. Start preparing your mind, your body, your spirit, and your finances right now, today, and get ready. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share these videos, and make sure, most of all, that you walk close to God, because this is going to be the most insane, crazy spiritual war we have ever seen. You've never seen evil like this. You've never seen demonic evil like you're seeing today. We will win, ladies and gentlemen, but sitting on the couch, sitting on the beanbag, eating, you know, some chips, you know, eating some bombs or whatever, and ignoring reality, you're going to lose. You'll be victimized by the chaos. You'll be victimized by the crime, by the economic collapse. I don't want that to happen to you. Get ready. God bless. Talk to all of you very, very soon.